Hey everybody, Tony here with the Bike Lab, and welcome to our next Bike Lab custom video on the Custom Specialized Chisel Evo that we're building up and giving away. So first of all, if you want a chance to win the bike we're building, right here, can we get like a magical noise, Ryan? Let's look at a magical noise every time I put my arms out. Patreon.com/BikeLabCustom. It's where you can sign up to win this bike. Each video on there that we release talking about one of the custom components that we're building costs you $1, and every dollar is an entry to win this bike. And we're estimating around $6 to $10 total. So 6 to 10 entries you could have to win this bike. It's a chisel frame size medium, because we've gotten that question, and we're building it up as an Evo, a trail focused cross-country frame hardtail. And today's video is on the Groupset. We'll get into brakes, rotors, and wheels in one of the next videos. Today we're just talking about the shifting system we've picked, and it comes from SRAM and their Eagle lineup. We've picked SRAM GX, and there's a couple reasons. First of all, when you look at the SRAM Eagle lineup, there are two levels before GX. There's SX and NX. And one is kind of an OE, an original equipment setup that comes on much more affordable bikes. And the cassette that goes on those can only go down to the 11. So you can get like an 1150 cassette on those and use some of the standard Shimano free hubs on there. The NX is the same. You can use that Shimano free hub still, but you can only go down to the 11. So even though that those shifting systems have similarities with the rest of the Eagle line, it's not what we consider full Eagle, if you would. Maybe we can get like an Eagle hawk noise in there too every time I say, yeah, I think that'd be good. GX, as we look at the lineup, and you have a bunch of stuff that's above GX, but once you get to the GX level with Eagle, you're getting all the functionality. You may not be getting the lightest components, but you're getting down to the cassette that can get you the 1050 or 1052 lineup. Allows you a bigger high-end gear and an easier low-end gear. It gives you all those kind of features. So you can actually interchange and interplay once you get to GX and above with the components you want to mix and match. So if you're building up your own custom bike and you wanted to have the XX1 crank with the GX derailleur and the X01 cassette and then a different chain, you can mix all those things together. They're fully compatible once you get to GX and up. The other thing that is important though with GX is you have to use the XD free hub from SRAM. That uses their 12-speed setup and allows you to go down to that 10th gear, the 10 gear on the cassette level there as well. So we picked GX. If I was going to compare it, and I kind of started out in road riding, and a lot of people come into our shop here at the Bike Lab when they're looking to get in a bike that has all the functionality they want, but they want to try to be as affordable as possible. They always ask for a Shimano 105. And in Shimano's lineup, 105 is their group set that's that first level of the full functionality. It has the largest amount of range of gear shifting and all that, but it doesn't have the high-end carbon and everything else. And since we're building out this mountain bike to kind of shred, we really wanted to focus on value. So with the suspension, we talked about in a previous video, that factory Fox Float 34. We went high end because we know that that is really, really important. When it comes down to the shifting system, we really feel that GX works really, really well, gives you all the features of Eagle, but it doesn't break the bank when it goes to get into it. I think this kit here with the aluminum crank, there's a carbon crank version of GX crank as well. We went the aluminum version, is around $545 as a kit if you're just getting the shifting system. So it's fairly affordable to get compared to the XX1 and XO and stuff. All ends up over $900 to over $1,000 for some of those things. And you're cutting weight and getting some increased, nicer machining with those systems. We still feel the functionality is great. That said, with this system, GX recently got an update to the crank itself, and it has a really nice kind of burly look to it. It's real strong. They updated design, so the look and feel of this is really nice. They just changed that in the last 12 months. But it's a really strong crank, so you get that good engagement when you pedal off of it. Has their narrow wide chain rings here, so you have good engagement with the chain on that 1x setup. With SRAM Eagle, you get 1x12 shifting system. So you have this giant platter of a cassette here, which really what it does is it gives you that full range that you'd ever want, from the hardest, fastest gear up to a super easy climbing gear. But you get in a 1x system, so even though this cassette looks big, it's not super heavy, and it's way lighter than having a 2x shifting system with a whole extra front chainring, shifter cable, and all that stuff. So even though you end up with this really big platter of a cassette back here with 12 gears, it cuts a bunch of weight and gives you much more dependable shifting all the way throughout the range. They have their basic trigger shifter here with the GX setup, and it's, I mean, has a trigger shifter. So as long as it works, it does what you need it to do. But they have a really good ergonomics to how that sets up and runs. And then finally with the derailleur back here, GX is the first level that gets this little kind of bend rotating wheel arm here. So you're able to tie in that cable and keep the tension real clean setup. The SX and NX levels don't have that. So that's just a little feature there that allows you to have a really clean connection through the rear derailleur setup. And these systems are high tension and clutch based. So there's a release setup here that you can kind of pull out and release as it comes back in. As you have it on there, you have to do that to open up the wheel when you're getting the wheel on and off. So these high tension systems, their whole point and purpose is you don't have a front derailleur up there to hold that chain onto that front chain ring. So you have this high tension system that as you shift opens up enough for it to move to another gear, and then it tightens back down real tight. That way you don't ever have that chain bouncing off. And it's absolutely something that's necessary for running a 1x setup. But with these GX road derailleurs, you get a really nice open engagement, really fluid flow. The chain through there shifts really well. It's a little more technical in the setup. So they have a tool that they send with it that helps you set that bead tension and everything else up on that derailleur really well. But again, that's why we like this SRAM GX shifting. It's simple. It's the full functionality at Eagle at the first price. It's an extremely durable setup. And we think 1x is the only way to go when it comes to mountain biking. So this is the group set we'll be installing on the Chisel video. Just like with the fork, there'll be a time-lapse install video that we'll share with you guys once we get that installed and put onto the frame. And we really think that 1x systems, especially from SRAM, are some of the best that we've interacted with. And we think that this level here matches the kind of bike that we're building really well. So if you have any questions about what Eagle setup you want to put together, or you want to put a custom build together, just let us know in the comments below. If you're seeing this on our website, we have a little chat bubble in the bottom right of the page. You can use it as well. And again, if you want to win this bike, you have a chance to win it. Go to patreon.com/BikeLabCustom, sign up, and this bike could be yours.